I do for you, Elspeth?
I read about you in the paper, Miss Drake. The Conroyd factory explosion, the Crown Ascot jewelry theft. I thought you might be the right person to help me. It's about my husband, Grant.
Well, why don't you tell me what the problem is?
He's been pushing me away. And when I ask him why, he won't say. I know it doesn't seem like much, but I know my husband. Something's wrong.
And how long have you been married?
2 years. We met shortly after he came home from overseas.
He served?
Yes, a captain in the engineering corps.
Is it possible that he could be suffering
From shell shock?
That's right.
No, nothing like that. He was one of the lucky ones.
Is there anything specific you can tell me that's happened?
Well, there've been these calls, about a dozen or so. Grant takes them, and he speaks in a hushed voice so that I can't hear. But I think someone might be threatening him.
In my experience, when a man acts out of character, it's usually because he's trying to hide something.
Miss Drake, had crossed my mind that maybe he's seeing someone. But Grant's a good husband.
They always are until they're not.
I'm not giving up on my marriage, Miss Drake.
I'll need to start by looking around your house.
You mean you'll take the job?
Well, why wouldn't I?
Grant Burton?
Yes?
My name is Frankie Drake. I'm a private detective. I was hired by your wife.
Why would she do something like that?
Well, she's worried about you. She thinks there's something wrong, and you won't talk to her, so she hired me.
Yeah, she's overreacting. There's nothing wrong.
She says that you're getting threatening phone calls.
There's nothing to them.
So you're not getting calls from another woman?
No, of course not.
Your wife loves you very much. Why are you pushing her away?
You wouldn't understand.
No?
It has to do with the war.
I served as well. Try me.
Look, please, just tell Elspeth that there's nothing she needs to worry about, and I'll soon have everything worked out, and things will go back to normal.
Well, I really hope for both of your sakes that's true.
Elspeth? Yes, she is.
Oh, I just can't imagine. How is she doing?
She's in shock. Her sister's on the way.
The initial police investigation confirmed it was a gas explosion. The gas line was deliberately severed.
What are they thinking?
Suicide?
Distraught veteran can't stand it anymore, so he takes his own life.
Exactly.
But I just spoke with him. He didn't seem like a man about to commit suicide.
How can I help?
Have the police finished up with the crime scene?
Yes?
I'm betting they missed something. Why don't you go down there and see what you can find?
Well, I can try, but the gas company has the place completely sealed off.
Just improvise.
Improvise. Right. Got it.
You don't think he killed himself?
No, but the police do. Someone cut that gas line. I doubt it was Grant.
Did your husband have any enemies?
No, not that I know of.
Did he ever talk to you about the war?
There was often a shadow around Grant. I spoke to my sister about it, and she said lots of war veterans are haunted by things that they went through.
They want to protect their loved ones from what they saw.
Or did?
Was there any change to his normal routine?
He made a few trips to the soldiers' hospital recently. He'd never done that before.
Was he ill?
He seemed fine. Unless that was something else he was hiding from me.
What about the calls that he received? Do you have any idea who they were from?
I'm sorry. I wish I could help you. I feel like I knew nothing about my husband.
You know that he loved you.
Yes, I know that. I should go. My sister will be waiting for me outside.
If you need anything, please don't hesitate.
All I need is the truth.
Well, we will find it.
Thank you.
So where do we start?
We need to find out who made those calls.
I think I have someone who could help. She's an exchange operator. Maybe they have a record of the calls.
Good. I'm gonna find out why Captain Burton suddenly started visiting the soldiers' hospital.
Hello. Can I help you?
I'm looking for someone. Maybe a visitor. Do you keep records?
We do.
Would you mind checking for me?
I don't see why not.
His name is Grant Burton. He was last here on Tuesday.
Well, good afternoon, gentlemen. Sir. I trust you're healing
Special
well.
visitor?
That's General Clarence Chanston. He's here to talk about the new holiday in honor of the Declaration of Peace. They're calling it Armistice Day.
I should call it Remembrance Day, so everyone remembers the price paid during that war.
Not that anyone around here is likely to forget.
I look forward to seeing you.
Here he is, Grant Burton.
Does it say who he was visiting?
Yes, Private Davidson. Follow me. He's just over there.
Thank you. Private Davidson? Louis! It's so wonderful to see you.
It's a pleasure to see you, too. In fact, you're quite the sight for sore eyes, miss.
Louis, it's me, Frankie.
Well, Frankie it is, then.
You don't remember me?
Not at all.
Dancing, England, the war.
Believe me, I wish I remembered dancing with you, but I don't remember much of anything from the war. The doc say I'm lucky to even remember my own name. But when these old devils get back under me, I'd love to take you for a spin on the dance floor.
Sorry, I'm late. This one guy keeps calling. All he wants to do is talk. Tells me he's falling in love with me because of the sound of my voice. Doesn't that just take the cake?
At least you're getting calls.
No.
So you joined the roller derby?
The bosses came up with this to make us faster at work.
Wait, so you skate up and down the switchboard changing plugs?
Can you believe it?
No. Hey, did you have any luck with those calls made to the Burton home?
I did, but I'm not sure how to help you. They were all placed from a payphone in Cabbagetown.
So anyone could have made those calls.
Pretty much. But I do have something you might be able to use.
Oh?
A call was placed from the Burton house right before the explosion. Now, we know that because the operator making the connection heard the blast and noted the time.
So any idea who the call was made to?
Sorry, just the number.
Thanks. I owe you one.
Well, Norm and I could use a sitter Friday night. Any chance?
You two plan on having a late night.
Last time I was barefoot in the grass was on a roadside in England. I had a warm beer in my hand. And you were scolding me for stealing that beer from a delivery wagon outside that pub. What was it, the Pig and Whistle or Pig and Bowl? Pig and something.
Sound like wonderful times. We were really friends.
Good friends.
And this dancing,
Oh, you were a dynamo, whipping me around the dance floor like the war was a million miles away.
sounds like a real hoot, Frankie. What are you thinking about?
The last time I saw you, you came to pick me up to go to a dance. You said something had come up and you were shipping out the next day. Something had come up for me as well, and I had to cancel on you.
We never had that dance?
No. I didn't see you again after that. could sure go for one of those warm beers right about now. How about you?
Could I ever? They don't allow liquor on the premises.
Well, I'll have to sneak in a flask next time.
You're a real swell gal, you know that, Frankie Drake?
Listen, I have to ask you about something. You've been getting visits from Captain Burton?
Yeah, he just started dropping in.
How do you two know each other?
He said from the war, but...
Do you mind if I ask what you two were talking about?
He wanted to discuss something that happened in the war, but you can imagine how that went. So instead, we just talked about the weather, lacrosse, things like that. That happened every time he came.
I have to go.
You know, talking with you, it feels like I'm fishing and there's something big down there. Just out of sight. Come back, please.
So you knew Private Davidson during the war.
I did.
Was he cute?
It wasn't like that. We were just friends. No complications.
Oh, that's the best kind of friend.
We met at a dance. He was stationed near me in England. I was Signal Corps. He was with the 12th York Rangers.
Wait, but if Lewis didn't remember anything from the war, why did Burton keep visiting him? Was he hoping that Lewis remembered something?
They must be connected somehow.
Does this connection have anything to do with Grant's death?
That's what we need to find out. How did you make out?
I'm not sure. Those calls were all made from a payphone in Cabbagetown. Not much help. Yes, operator, can you please connect me to Queen East 273? Thank you. But Grant did make a call just before the explosion.
He did? To who?
I'm about to find out. Oh, sorry. Must have called the wrong number.
Well?
He called a pharmacy.
This is everything from the Burton residence that wasn't either destroyed in the fire or taken by my fellow officers.
So you were able to get in.
As you suggested, I improvised and did some sweet talking with the gas man.
Works every time.
Well, I may have promised more than I intend to deliver.
You were full of surprises, Mary.
See you soon.
I found that near the telephone. No postmark means it was hand-delivered.
Salisbury.
It sounds English.
It is.
What's that?
I found that near where the explosion took place.
This looks like a variation of a pencil detonator. It's very rare.
Oh, how does it work?
So it holds two separate chemicals separated by a copper barrier. Now, eventually, the chemicals eat away at the barrier, mix together, and combust. A small flame shoots through this tiny hole, setting off anything around it.
Like a leaking gas main.
You know, I heard a high-pitched whine right before the explosion. Picric acid makes the same sound right before it combusts. You know, like a firecracker before it goes off.
So after talking with you, Grant goes back into the house where gas is leaking from a sabotaged line. The detonator's already there.
And kaboom, the whole thing blows.
Well, the killer had knowledge of how to assemble this.
Points to a certain type.
Must be some sort of military person.
Oh, that reminds me. I have something else. These are for you.
Thank you.
They're a reminder to remember on Armistice Day.
They were handing these out outside of the soldiers' hospital.
What do we do with them?
Oh, you just pin it on your blouse or lapel, on the left side over your heart. You give a small donation for them. The money goes to help veterans.
Good idea. Thanks.
So, what now?
We find out why Burton called a pharmacy right after I spoke with him. The door's open.
Frankie. He's gone.
Better call the police. A pencil detonator!
A bomb? This isn't gonna end well.
He's gone. Maybe. I'll be seeing him in my nightmares.
This rag is soaked in turpentine. He would have asphyxiated on the fumes.
Gas. Like the main gas line at Grant Burton's. Looks like our pharmacist's name is Douglas Hargrove. Or was Douglas Hargrove.
This is the same postcard that Grant received.
So what's the connection between a textile manufacturer, a pharmacist, and the town of Salisbury?
And a killer wearing a gas mask.
I got a good look at it. It's creepy, but maybe I could track it down.
Look at this. The killer left behind some boot prints.
Oh, this is clay.
How do you know?
Well, sometimes when Father would work as a laborer at the brickworks in the Don Valley, we'd come in tracking clay at the house would drive my mother crazy.
Okay, you check the army surplus store, see if you can find that mask.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna have a walk along the Don Valley.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm looking for a gas mask.
Really?
One can never be too prepared.
Well, I like a woman who's prepared. What kind of mask are you looking for? British, German, Canadian?
Oh, I never realized there's so many.
Here, why don't you try one of these on and see how you like it, huh?
Actually, it was more like a sack.
Ah, see, that's how they were at the beginning. Hang on a second. Okay. Here we are.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah, it's an early version of an anti-gas helmet. It's linen with pads fitted inside around the eye pieces.
Any idea where I could find one?
What would you want one for? They're basically useless.
Can a gal get a jump on Halloween?
Am I invited to the party?
Maybe. If you find me a mask.
They're very rare. The funny thing is, I sold the only one I ever came across.
Oh. Well, maybe you could help me get in touch with the owner. I'd like to try and buy it from him.
I'm gonna need some time to find the information. It's gonna be in one of these boxes.
Oh. That's a lot of boxes.
Always be prepared.
My loitering conspicuously in the hallway could be avoided if Frankie would just give me a key.
I'll pass that on to her. In the meantime, did you come up with anything else?
Not much. To start, neither of your gas victims has a criminal record.
So no brothers in crime?
They didn't go to the same school. They didn't even live in the same neighborhood. Grant Burton, he went into the textile business, while Doug Hargrove studied chemistry at university, qualified as a pharmacist just before the war.
Did he serve?
As a captain in the engineering corps.
Wait, Burton was a captain in the engineering corps.
So not brothers in crime, but brothers in arms.
We need more bandages.
Right away.
Louis!
Stop him! By the time I got back to his lair, it had been cleared out.
Sounds like a good place to hide. Impossible to find unless you stumbled right onto it.
I think it was less of a hiding place and more of a base camp. You know, the valley runs through most of the city.
Oh, so he follows it and climbs out wherever he needs to be.
How did you make out?
I think we got a lead. Just waiting on an address.
Good.
Our killer's planned this very carefully.
Whatever is motivating him, it must be something terrible. Okay, so we have 2 dead soldiers.
Both in the engineering corps.
Both received postcards from Salisbury.
And a killer with military experience.
Somehow it's all connected, and Louis Davidson is at the heart of it. I know someone who might be able to help us.
So what happened this time? Couldn't shoot someone again?
For once, it's not about me. I had a soldier I knew back in England.
What about him?
He doesn't remember me.
It's hard to believe.
He doesn't remember anything from the war.
I've seen that before. Soldiers experience extreme trauma, repress their memories to protect themselves.
I need him to remember something. It's really important.
How about instead of asking him to remember the whole war, you try focusing on something more specific?
Damn war just never goes away, does it?
It went away for me.
Did it? You said that there was something lurking deep below, wanting to come to the surface.
I have a feeling I don't want it to come up.
We all have things we don't want to remember. But maybe confronting them is the only way to really deal with it.
I feel like I know you. And I haven't felt that before.
That's positive. What about the man with the cosmetic mask? Do you remember him?
Maybe.
Try to remember. I think he's very dangerous. He killed Grant Burton and someone else. Now, I need to stop him. So if you can remember anything, even the smallest thing.
Porton.
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 Is that his name?
I don't know. It just
She popped up. I wish I could remember more.
It's okay.
I remembered something.
You did. And it might be something very important.
Did you find the address?
You know, no one ever believes me when I tell them I have a system, but I always find what I'm looking for.
So, who is he? Tell me about him.
Why, I thought you just wanted to buy a gas mask from him.
Well, it's a rare gas mask. I want to make sure I have the right approach.
Must be some party you have planned.
Oh, yes. Trust me, it is. Another man?
Right. We didn't have the mask in stock when he inquired about it. No one did. So he offered to pay me to help him find it for him.
He's determined to have it.
Cost him a pretty penny for it, too.
Can you describe him?
Never laid eyes on him. Every time we talked, it was over the telephone. Paid for it with a bank draft, and he had some kid come and get the mask on his behalf.
So do you have the address?
You, won't forget to invite me to the Halloween party?
Oh, you're on the top of the list.
Does the word Porton mean anything to you? Maybe someone's name?
No, I'm sorry.
Well, did Grant ever mention a Captain Hargrove? I believe they served together in the engineering corps.
No.
What about Salisbury?
Grant was stationed somewhere near there.
Near Salisbury?
Yes.
Porton isn't a person. It's a place. Do you have any idea what he did there?
It was one of those things he never really wanted to talk about.
Here's the other file you requested, Corporal Drake. As I mentioned, they are restricted.
I'm sure General Wallace wouldn't mind speaking with you directly about my clearance. Dismiss, Private.
Yes, sir. Ma'am.
Royal Engineers Research Station. Anti-gas. York Rangers.
Drake Private Detectives?
Frankie, I found our killer's house. His name's McElroy.
What's the address?
640 Sackville.
That street runs along the edge of the Don Valley.
I know. His hide's been a stone throw away. We didn't even realize it.
I'm 20 minutes away. Meet me on the north corner.
Actually, no one was home, so I let myself in.
You need to get out of there now.
He's here. I can't.
Trούντi! Hello? Trούντi!
Has been gone at least 10 minutes. I don't understand. He could have killed me, what he did. Why?
Whatever the reason is, I'm just grateful.
Why are you in uniform?
A last-minute trip to the Department of Defense.
You gotta look at this.
Oh my God. The 12th York Rangers. This was Lewis's regiment. There he is. Look at the second name.
McElroy. That means...
Lewis and McElroy served together. I just saw a file. The 12th served at Porton Down.
Porton Down?
Some kind of engineering research station. Doug Hargrove and Grant Burton were both stationed there.
That has to be the connection. Something had to have happened there.
Well, whatever it was, it can't have been good.
And there's Burton's obituary.
And there's Hargrove.
And look at these two. Gerald Bukowski and John Peters. Looks like Bukowski died in Fredericton and Peters in Hull. And both were in the engineering corps.
So McElroy was targeting people at Porton Down.
And clearly there's someone else on that list, but who?
I think I saw him at the Soldiers' Hospital. His name is General Clarence Chanston. I think this is all about remembrance.
We have to get to him before McElroy does, but how do we find him?
I've got an idea. But in case I'm wrong, get the police and try to find Chanston.
What's this all about? What do you want?
I want to talk about the 12th, General.
Who are you?
This is what you look like when you've been gassed. Would you like to put it on? See how well it works?
Go to hell, soldier.
We'll go together.
Private McElroy!
Get out of here.
I'm not going anywhere.
I have no fight with you.
This is about what happened at Porton Down, isn't it? I'm gonna holster my weapon. And you and I, we can have a nice, calm chat. Okay? Why don't you start by telling me what really happened to the 12th?
Yes, why don't we tell her, General?
That's classified.
Not anymore, it isn't. You gassed your own men.
We had no choice. The Germans were throwing everything at us, phosphine, chlorine, mustard gas. It was a field test. We needed to know our masks worked.
16 men died to find that out, and those who didn't wish they had.
It wasn't for nothing. We went on to build a better mask that saved thousands.
And what about the 12th? You just covered up what happened to them?
Their deaths weren't something we were proud of. To hell with your pride.
No, stop! Stop! People need to know what happened to the 12th. If you kill him, all anyone is going to remember is how a soldier murdered a bunch of officers. People need to know the truth. And they will, won't they?
My mission is complete. And my promise is kept.
So what's going to happen to Private McElroy?
I assure you he'll get the help he needs.
So he's going to receive psychiatric care.
Yes, I've arranged for him to see my man, the very best this country has to offer. Is that why I'm here, Miss Drake? So you can make sure I keep my word?
Something like that? That one day at Porton Down changed so many lives.
Do you know why Grant Burton was even there? He was a textile expert. He made the fabric that went around the lenses of the gas mask. Doug Hargrove worked on the filter.
What is your point?
Grant and Doug weren't evil. They thought the mask would work. We all did. The 12th were honorable men, volunteers. When they started to fall, Lewis ran. He was trying to warn us that the masks weren't working.
That's why he survived. He missed the worst of the gas cloud.
I ordered everyone to stand down. I couldn't allow any more men to die.
So why the cover-up?
Well, I realize now what a terrible mistake that was. And perhaps if I'd realized it then, Grant and Doug might still be alive.
General Chanston, this is Elspeth Burton, Grant's wife.
Mrs. Burton.
All I wanted was the truth. And now I have it.
Grant was a good man, a fine soldier. I'm sorry for your loss.
That one word, Porton. It was like poking a hole in a dam. His whole memory just came flooding back.
I'm glad it worked out for you, Frankie. You can move on now.
There's a difference between Lewis and I. He didn't do anything wrong.
He thought he did. Being alive when all the others were dead.
I'm not afraid of being alive.
I know. Frankie, you'd be crazy to think this is easy. I can't tell you much, but I can tell you the world won't end if you let it out.
How do you know? You have a direct line to God?
You know, maybe I'm not the right person.
What do you mean?
I mean, maybe you need to speak to somebody who understands what you went through.
Thanks.
Warm gin is better than no gin.
But is it better than warm beer?
You've been flirting with the nurses, you cheeky bugger.
You know, doctors are optimistic. They're saying that with time I might even get my legs back.
You will.
We can have that dance.
Not that I deserve it after standing you up the way that I did.
So what happened that night? Why'd you have to cancel it? You get a better offer?
No. I can promise you it wasn't that. To the fallen, wherever they may be.
The Fallen?
You know, you and I are alike. We survived where others didn't.
Does that have something to do with me?
And that night.
You want to talk about it?
No. Yes.
All right. I came to your door, and I knocked. You only opened an inch, and you said,
I can't go dancing with you.